the past couple of hours that I'm going to be speaking to Damon Dash. We're going to talk about his entire life, where he came from, where he came from, where he is today, and obviously where he would like to go. So we are going to we're going to do what we're supposed to do. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, what's happening?
How's it going?
It's pretty good. Can't complain. How's it going with you?
Absolutely fantastic. How is your Friday afternoon?
Pretty good. You
Hey,
know. Oh, I forgot I could do all that on there. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm relaxing. Had a pretty decent week. Getting ready for the future, planning out. So everything kind of winds down for us on Fridays, and then we get to relax and play with the baby for the weekend, completely all day, every day.
Okay, before we go anyway, where exactly are you right now?
I'm in California.
Are you at your farmhouse or you're at home?
Oh, I'm at my crib.
Or you're home? Oh, okay,
Yeah, I'm at my crib.
okay. Oh,
Mhm.
nice, nice. So, what do you usually do on a Friday? What is your usual Friday like?
Well, this week is not the usual because I took the vaccine, so they wanted me to rest. But every day we get up around 10 o'clock. No. We're up around 6 in the morning because the baby's up, but the staff that works at the house comes in.
Uh-huh.
There you go. She's pumping and she's pumping. And we sit around the table and we go over our dreams. We have notebooks of each business that we're working on and things that need to be done. And, there's a lot of moving parts because we have a television network, we have fashion. We're making movies and television shows and books. We have to market things, produce things, source things. There's a lot to talk about, and we always have to make sure we're enjoying ourselves and make sure that we're paying attention to our individual dreams, because all of our individual dreams in here sort of coincide. So if one wins, we all win at all times. So we're always inspired. Things are getting edited, so we have to review edits. We have to always look for different, like if I'm doing a project, I might need a DP or editor. I'm always looking. It's a lot of shit that goes on every day. And then it's the interviews. And then there's the business, the bill paying. That shit is a daily thing. So, and then it's the playing with the baby. The baby sleep right now.
Um, with everything that you've just briefly spoken to me about and how you're living right now and where you started from, whenever you started from where you were starting from and where you see yourself today, did you see yourself where you are right now, feeding the baby, having a plan where you had to chillax, walk the dogs? Was that something that you ever planned throughout?
I architected it. I made life where I could work from home in an environment that my baby would be safe. So here, look, here's my wife doing her. Here's a book on the wall. Here's my storyboards on the wall. You have to know your dream so that when it actually happens, you know how to live it. So everything that I'm doing right now was something that was very strategic for us a year ago because we lost the baby a year ago at 7.5 months. You know what I'm saying? So rather pregnant, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
a nightmare turned into a dream, but we had to actually visualize it. We needed a dream to pull us out of the dark. So yeah, everything that I'm doing was strategic. Nothing was by accident. Funny because as the world changes, you know where you want to go. You just don't know how you're going to get there. And there's things that have happened where getting there, where I really ultimately want to go, I see the path to get there quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing whatever I want for my whole life since I've been, before I was an adult.
You speak of what you were doing before you're an adult. When you started off, because obviously today when we look at you, we see as an entrepreneur. What was your first gig or first job? What was your first entrepreneurial job?
I was selling drugs. So
And
when I was a kid, I used to sell drugs, and it wasn't something I saw as sustainable. But you know,
uh-huh.
at the time, being young, I wanted to make my circumstance around me better, and I found a way to make more money than adults. But in doing that, I learned how to run a business very early. And also, when you're running a business where, you know, the recourse is death or jail, getting out of that business and going into a business where there really is no recourse but like lawsuits, it becomes relatively easy and you look really fearless. But the survival of one thing made it where, you know, everyone else is just like, you know, they play to me. You know what I mean? Unless you survived in the jungle, it's hard for me to like take you too serious if you don't have the right ideals.
Okay, that must have been obviously it must have been a learning point for you. But then after that particular moment, how did you move to music? How did you move from that particular place to the music?
I, I,
How did
I
that
was
intertwine?
so I don't know if you saw the movie Paid in Full, but I was there for all of that. That's why I made the movie. That's what really changed me. And seeing that, you know, younger person got touched, and the person that I thought could never get touched got touched, I was like, I'm getting out of this completely. And I was young enough to do it before I was, you know, scarred, or I didn't have to learn from actual hurting. You know, I learned from other people's pain. And I wanted a way to make money without feeling like I was working. And I decided to get in the music business. My cousin Darian put me in showed me the game, and we were partners. We started managing and this, that, and the third. And then, you know, I just was a beast.
Were you ready for that? I mean, at a certain point, it must have shaped your life where you moved from one area and then the next you started working somewhat. I mean, obviously, when you moved to the
To
music
me,
side, now you're
to me, and at a young age, I just thought everybody was scared, and I didn't understand what people were scared of. So it was like to fall in line and do what you're told and not be happy to survive was nothing I ever wanted. So I was never, the only thing I was scared of doing is being like everybody else. So I did everything I
okay.
could not to be like everybody else. I don't want to be like everybody else because nobody's happy. You know, I grew up in a social class, that 99% where everyone's struggling and trying to survive. And that became their whole life. And I was like, life can't be just surviving and struggling and being sad and fighting and, you know, fighting each other. I was like, life should be about art and having fun and laughing, and you should get paid for that. So I figured out how to do just that on my
So
terms.
when you went to the music, was it what you expected or was it less? Are there any regrets in the music industry that you got into?
No
How was it
regrets.
like for you?
I found that no one was I was disappointed because no one was smart. I'm like, these are the guys that are running shit just because they're
What do
kissing
you
ass.
mean? What do you mean that they weren't smart? Who wasn't smart? Why were they not smart?
They weren't smart because they were working for people and they were pretending that they were something they were not, and they were not good at it. And they overcompensated and they just spent artists' money and took advantage and exploited them. And I didn't find that very intellectual or smart, or I didn't think it behooved our culture. So I was disappointed in the way that people that were of our color, that were in certain positions, were treating the culture. They were just exploiting it for the other culture. I was very disappointed in that. And they were very like complacent about it. Like a lot of the people that I knew in that business are still exactly there in the same place. And I couldn't do that. I couldn't hustle on the same block for my whole life. It would just drive me nuts. I couldn't exploit young kids my whole life. I couldn't be told what to do my whole life. You know, I couldn't waste kids' money and take advantage of the fact that they just got a bag and they just broke a social class and take advantage of that and make them learn the hard way. I just would never do that to the people around me. So you see the people around me, they all in Forbes. So, you know, all my students, you see where they go. I teach the
Okay,
people
no, I
around me
see.
how to be independent, not dependent. So independent that they don't have to work with me no more. That's what I do.
Okay. I actually very appreciate that because at the end of the day, when we're looking at the culture, it's all about building the culture and propping the culture forward and trying to do what we can for what we have at that particular time, which is amazing with what you've actually done. So when that particular thing didn't work for you, you moved on to a completely different area. Obviously, there were
It worked
so
for me
many things.
financially. It worked for me financially. It didn't work for my soul. Like I tore it down. You see what I
Okay.
did? I'm an industry conqueror. So you saw what I did in the music business. I conquered it and did it my way. Conquered it and
Yeah.
changed the narrative of the way people approach it. I made people independent was cool when they thought about 10 years. Same thing in fashion. and I opened up art galleries all around the world, just to like, you know, capture culture in its true essence, not worrying about what nobody was saying. I did what I wanted to do, and I got the receipts. It's all on my network, Dame Dash Studios. And then I decided to conquer another industry, which is television. That's what I'm doing now.
Exactly. So when you move from there to where you are now, it must have been was it a difficult transition for you, or it was very easy?
It's like going to a new club. You get excited about it, you know, going on a first date. So I get excited. The things that make people scared for some reason excite me. You know, as long as it's not involving death or involving jail, what's happening, or being unhealthy, let's go. I'm always down for a new adventure. Like with me and my girl, whenever we even leave the house, because we don't even like leaving, but when we leave to go to some place, we're like, you ready for a new adventure? Because we always know when we walk outside, we're going to make history. We always know we're going to shake shit up. We're going to disrupt shit for the right reasons, because that's what we do.
The one thing that I've noticed is that you speak a lot about your partner. You're very forefront for her and all of her struggles. How important has it been for you to have the right person by your side?
It's everything. The right person by your side, y'all become one person. You understand what I'm saying? And that's really what people's goal ultimately should be, is to find that one person that you could love unconditionally, that could love you back, and y'all can make your dreams come true together. That's your best friend. Who don't want to have a best friend? And a fine one. Who don't want to have that? Like, I don't understand dudes that want to get rich and have girls and hang out with their homeboys all day. I see my homeboys, but the hang sessions don't last very long. Pause. I'm back with my girl. I don't even, you know, but I'm older, so, you know, I've seen the world, and I ran around, and I've been around girls that get paid to be the prettiest women in the world. But in the house, it's a different story. You know, you got to be the star in the house. So that's the reason why everything is more or less about what Rocky's doing, because it's more for him, like children's books and, you know, syllabuses and education and things to that nature. You know, like we've lately, as of lately, during the COVID, we just started Zooming with a group called the OSG, this Dennis McKeezy, and that's 90 black principals all around the world, and just talk about curriculum and talk about education and talk about what needs to change, and just actually changing it. Not only talking about it, doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of energy I want around my son. So she's been able to get with the women principals, the ladies of OSG, and develop a curriculum from the womb to 3 years old. And that's the world I want to be in at this age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
I'm
pretty
not running
amazing
around the
that you
club. You know, I
actually.
got babies and puppies and all that, and art.
I mean, you went to being a founder of one of the biggest hip hop labels in the entire world to now going on strolls with your dog, your four dogs, and doing Zoom meetings with principals all over the world trying to find content for your child. Is this how you now? This is it for you? Are you ever going to do music again?
I do music.
Or you're
I'm in a
good?
rock band called the Black Guns. I'm an artist.
Okay.
You could go to Spotify right now and get Therapy by the Black Guns. You can go to Dame Dash Studios and watch the docuseries of the making of the album. All the music and the rock and roll that you hear in my content is made by us. Like, I'm completely the artist. So I direct the movies. I write the movies. You know, I act in the movies. I score the movies. You know what I mean? I'm completely on my artist bag right now and loving it. I'm Billy Pablo the Third.
Is rock better than hip hop, or it's the same
There's no
thing?
better. It's just this is what I'm on right now because I'm into live
Ah, okay.
instrumentation. And I'm 50. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna be doing, running around rap records and shit at 50. I remember looking at older dudes running around and rap, and I'd be like, yo, you're too old for all that. And I'm not going to be that dude. I'm not talking about a 15 to 19-year-old experience. I've experienced a whole life. I've raised children
Yeah.
that are men and women now. So I can't be talking about young shit. I'm talking about things that if you're going to listen to what I'm saying, you got to level up if you're not there. I'm not leveling down. And I'm not saying hip hop is leveling down. It's just younger than where my brain is at. I love what's going on as far as the creativity in hip hop right now. These kids is like, to me, they are rock stars, but they just living it way too hard.
Yeah.
You know, a rap beef today is a different kind of rap beef than it was before.
That's very true. Things have changed from when you started to where things are today.
Man, niggas is getting
And
killed.
another
People are
thing,
getting killed. These young kids are killing each other and making records and doing interviews about it. That's too real for me. I don't think I'd have been all right in rap 10, 20 years ago because I was trying to get away from all of that. Rap was supposed to be escape for me from the street, not an entry into it. That wasn't what I was trying to do. It was like once we got into music, it was like, oh, we're not going to jail. Now, once you get into music, you got to be ready to do it big.
wow,
But they rock stars,
that's very
though.
true.
But they rock stars, you know, they are rock stars, but they real. It's too real out there for me right now. I'm old.
Talk about music. Obviously you've got a huge network of people. When it comes to music, I'm sure you're not just limiting yourself to the music around you. Is there any music within Africa that has ever maybe come across your radar or has come through across where you are right now?
Well, I've been spending a lot of time with the OG Taj Mahal. He's a blues singer. And, you know, he's the OG. If you don't know him, you should Google. You should know him. And he teaches me a lot about every kind of music. But at the end of the day, the root of all music is Africa. You know what I mean? So actually, I'm doing projects where I'm looking and with him though, because he's the Don G. You know, he's the professor. So he guides me. I'm like, whatever he say, I do. So I'm doing like a blues kind of a label and country music kind of thing, along with hip hop too. But with him, the blues and also the education of music. But at the end of the day, the root of it is always Africa.
Oh wow, wow. The one thing that a lot of people also picked up, and I picked up as well, is that with everything that's going on around you and your lifestyle is, and I'm very glad. I'm very glad. This is the one question that I've actually been looking forward to ask you today, is how you've been very open about you going to therapy. Because where I come from, therapy in Black men is not something that's normal. They don't understand it. They don't want to do it. Whereas you're very open about it, and it's something that you do regularly. What made you go to therapy, and how has it helped you so far, being who you are today?
Well, number one, being Black in this world is traumatizing, whether you recognize it or not. Surviving in the 99% is traumatizing. So that normal, especially being Black, is not everybody's normal. So when I was young and I'm hustling and I'm literally seeing people getting killed daily to where it's not bothering me. Like I'll see a kid get a bullet in his head swell up. I go to school and nobody asked me if I was all right. And I didn't think I wasn't all right. But to this day, I still have the trauma bothering me, the PTS, but the PST, PSD, PST, I always say it wrong. The PSTS or whatever.
PSTD.
Yeah, that one. Like I still, when I hear the door knock, the helicopters, I still got to sit. Like I'm still very, as if I'm in that world. It really affected me. So you have to deal with that unrecognized trauma to deal with the things that are bothering you, because you might not know what and why. And also you
Yeah.
need an objective opinion, like a consigliere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, someone that either is validating or, you know, who doesn't have like a dog in the fight to tell you whether you're bugging or whether you're thinking right or how to deal with things. So when I have to deal with certain people because I know they trigger me or I know I trigger them, I'm able to call someone that studied this. And the problem with, you know, therapy with Black people is because Black people don't get therapy, the study of people therapy is of another culture. So when we finally do get it, it's not the right therapy. So I also make sure I get the therapy from the right place. So that's why I go with my man Taj. And, you know, he's going through probably way more traumatic things than me to survive to get where he is. But, you know, he speaks the language that I speak. And he understands my triggers. And he understands how to deal with people, or for me to deal with people that trigger me. You know what I'm saying? But it
Yeah.
keeps me very balanced. And, you know, again, the one thing I know about being me and being a rock star is I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks about what I'm doing. You know, you could either learn from it or turn the channel. You can't judge me because you're not playing the game I'm playing. There is only one Dame Dash. So you can't tell me how to react to things because you have never been through anything near what I've been through to be the person I am today. So I don't even give a fuck. So, you know, I do everything, every problem I go through, because I'm in a place where I can deal and get the things that the 1% gets. I'm going to show the 99 all the tricks and everything that I wasn't shown that I had to figure out. You know, because again, like I said, you'd be disappointed. You think people are smart and they not. They're just cute. You know what I'm saying?
From where you've come from to where you are today, you've obviously dealt with so many different people. You've dealt with good people, you've dealt with bad people. How have you managed to be able to differentiate between the real and the fake? Because, man, you've done it all, you've been through it all, but you're still standing. How did you deal with these kind of people? Because people around you make or break you. How did you manage?
Well, number one, the real should always be able to recognize the fake. If you got good jury, you already know when someone got bad jury or fake jury. That's number one. So you should be able to recognize it. If you're not fake, then you're going to recognize someone that is. But there's a lot of editing that comes with that and tolerance. So I don't say fake. I'd be like, yo, they're just less evolved. They're insecure. They don't have confidence in themselves to be themselves. And that's the issue. So I tend to feel sorry for those people, but I get them away from me. And I curate and only have the people around me that are like-minded. You understand? That's why, like, if you work with me, you got to have a dream that you're working on for yourself that I can help you with. Because I got to see how hard you work on your dream. Because you ain't going to
Okay.
work hard if you ain't going to work on your own. You know what I mean? So there's a lot
Got
of
it.
different, like, you know, but my expectation of human beings in general, I don't expect them to be so evolved based on my experience. I expect everybody
Okay.
pure survival mode and to do anything and justify doing anything to do what to do to eat and survive because they panic all the time. Everybody's scared.
Okay, that is interesting. Now, you've been in so many different businesses, from running a record label to now having an app where you're literally side by side by one of the biggest ones, which is Netflix. That's not, we're not talking about them, but we're talking about you. But before we even get to what you're doing right now, you must have made some calculated risks. Now, your biggest financial risk, okay? Let's talk about that, because one of the main things that I wanted to speak to you about is I feel like you've got so much that you can teach us. I'm from Africa, Zimbabwe, and there's so many upcoming brands, so many individuals who are trying different things, and we literally would just like to find out how it works, like from somebody who's as profound as you are, who's got so much knowledge. So your biggest financial risk, and how did you manage from that? Because we're all starting stuff, we're failing, we don't know, should we get up again? Should we let it go? What do we do?
I mean, you know, learning in a business is expensive. You know, you burn while you learn. I just think because what I do is a lifestyle, I'm not even used to not putting up 100 grand a month into my dreams. But something else is always stimulating. Like, you know, I'm in a situation because of my age and the fact that for the last 30 years, I've always been doing something. I'm always getting either like a residual income or catching a lick that's on something I did or I'm doing. And I love it. So basically, you know, the difference between me and most is I gotta pay until I get paid for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
even in the music, it was like we were just spending until something cracked, But while we're spending, it's like instead of spending money on clothes to go to a club, we'll spend money on clothes to do a video or to do a show that we could potentially get paid for. So when you're dealing in businesses like that are like entertainment that, other people pay for to have fun, your business is fun. So you have to choose a business that you would only do for free. Like basketball. Like, like a basketball player, he would play basketball for free. But they're going to get paid. Or a gamer. I think gamers, I'm so happy about gamers. Because it's like, yo, you could just play games and get paid. But motherfuckers was doing that for free. Or skateboarding. Or painting.
Right.
Or just being creative. If you do it well, and you do it well because you love it. You love it so much that you do it until you're the best at it. It shouldn't feel like work. And then you have to be fearless about it and do it at a professional level. And then you're getting paid. Like, like I said, we're doing clothing lines, books, shows, music, television networks, making the movies, doing curriculums, dealing with history, politics, all that shit. That's what I would be doing anyway. I'm having fun. So, I don't really care about the bread. I'll get it back. And if I don't get it back here, I'll get it back someplace else. But that's how it goes. But at some point, if you have an honest love for something and you work hard at it, the test is how long you will work hard at it and lose till it wins. Because some people be like, oh, I love this, and then it doesn't win and they quit. Then you don't fucking love it. If you loved it, you keep doing it until you got it right. So the thing about me is when I want to do something, and it's my dream, I don't give a fuck if it takes 10, 20, 30. I'm on that until I get it. Like a skateboarder trying to get a trick, break his knee, and he'll keep doing that trick till he get it. Well, that's how I look at business.
Okay.
And that's an adventure for me. Like, I'm not in it for the money. I love making money. Don't get it twisted. But boring money and bad money, I don't want it. I want that fun, good, I like to conquer. I like the challenge of getting a company to click. I'm a beast, and I'm a different kind of animal that most don't understand. I'm a very rare breed. I'm not even the best businessman. That's the problem. Like, if I was the best businessman, I'd have billions. But I can't tolerate dealing with people to get to that fucking billion. I just like being artistic. I'm not the best. I'm the best dreamer, and I know how to make my dreams come true. Yeah. And I know how to fight for what I believe in until they come true fearlessly, because I ain't hurt nobody, and it's always based on love. So shouldn't nobody be coming in my way. Mind your business. I'm not hurting you. I'm not trolling you. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm just talking about how to enjoy your life, how to be healthy, mentally, physically, dropping jewels. As soon as I learn something, I teach it. I don't hide the plug, all that type shit. That's what I want. Like that. But there are a couple, and those are the people I clicked up with. So that's the reason why I put together this crew called The Commission. I got Bishop Pennell to tell you the real history of religion and systemic racism. Like, if you come in this world thinking God is another color, you thinking you number 2 and not number 1. So you start calling people by the wrong name, because Jesus is a European interpretation of the name Yahshua. But we come in calling it a European interpretation. Ain't nothing in the Bible happened in Europe. And then we wonder why we can't get God's full blessing, because we ain't calling him by his right name. If you were sitting there calling me Damien all day, I'd be like, all right, but it'd be making me tight. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the logic of it is, when I go to Europe or Africa, there's no African interpretation of my name. You're calling me Damien, exactly. No matter where I go. So why we choose that one? So we deal with that. We got Dr. Chris Pennell, and you see her on CNN, Black woman, strong. Put a verbal bullet in your chest if you say something that's against the culture and silly. Like, I wouldn't even argue with her, And then we got Congressman Andre Carson, so we could take some of these things and get them made into laws. And Senator Eddie Milton, same thing. He just closed sessions today and passed like 4 laws. But we don't talk about that, and we don't teach that. We don't teach our culture how to really make change. You got to pass a law. So how is any law that's made by someone that had a slave still legit today? Any law that was made 100 years ago or when there were slaves was made by a man that had a slave. I'm not listening to those laws. They're not for me. And also, I'd always would wonder, like, the shit that turned me off. Well, I ain't gonna say that. But anyway, so we got that, and then we deal with the therapy, the unrecognized trauma. So we got Taj, and we got Melanie. She don't let me call it Dr. Melanie, but all of that. Then we got Do It All, the legend in hip hop that's running for city council. So we got all of that. And then we got the OSG, 90 black principles that don't fuck, they all fly, unapologetic, don't shave their mustache, none of that. You know what I mean? And doing great things for the kids. So instead of complaining about stuff, I get with like-minded people and we go change things. And we call ourselves the commission.
I love how you are, there's so many things that you're doing and trying to change in so many different spheres. But then what happens is, because you are doing all these things, you're in the public eye. Now, when you're in the public eye, the media, us, we are very brutal. We're not friendly. We talk a lot of nonsense. We try to bring you down. How have you managed to be able to stick to who you are, stick to your guns, believe in who you are, regardless of what the public, the media or whatever around you is saying that is negative, that is wrong, or that's trying to literally just pull you down?
You remember that thing I was telling you about, I don't give a fuck?
Yes.
It's real. I'm not bluffing. I promise. I've tried to give a fuck and I can't. I don't care with people that are spectating and not playing the game. I don't care what they're saying. I know they do it for clickbait, and I'm very flattered by it. I don't even think I should be famous. What am I famous for? Just being cool? There's businessmen out there. Why am I famous? You understand what I'm saying? It's not because of business. It's not because of that. It's because of charisma, swag, and the way I do what I do, I make it look like art. Like I said, I'm one-on-one. So, you're going to say bad things, you're going to say good things. You insecure because your girl likes me. That's the reason why you want to write bad about me. And I can understand that. I've been going through that my whole life.
Okay.
Whenever I get bad press, I'd be like, that girl must like me.
All right, let's talk business. Let's talk money. Dame Dash Studios. When you started this, where you are today, is this what you expected, or this is just the beginning and we're only going to get bigger?
Oh, no, this is just the beginning. I haven't even really started. I'm just giving you proof of concept. Trust me. Like, so far it's just been on me and my wife and, like, select people. And we've been doing the job of 100 people with 10. But when I get 100 people, it's going to feel like 1,000, And like I said, I'm just, like, I watch the world. I'm not going to say copy. I'm going to say be inspired by me. I thought about the world 10 years later coming around and becoming conscious. And I knew it wasn't going to happen with my age because they're already programmed. It's hard to deprogram people. So I started investing 10 years ahead of time. So the kids that's 10 and 20 now, those are the kids that's out there not having it. Those are the kids that's out there being independent. When I walk the streets, they don't really talk to me so much about Rockefeller. They talk to me about how I inspired them to be independent businessmen and to have pride as black people, and how much they loved how I fought for us. That's what I get celebrated for my wars. I get celebrated for the people that I've punished for punishing us. That's what I get celebrated for. So when I come back around and get at a Lyor, because nobody else will, I'm not even in this man's world. But I'm going to make sure that my culture does not have to deal with him. Because I did. So they don't have to deal with the pain that I had to deal with. So now he's benched.
one of the main reasons why I wanted to reach out to you was primarily to speak to you about your entrepreneurial journey, because where you were and where you are right now and where you're about to go is very, very inspirational. And there's so many people where I'm coming from who could do with, that kind of inspiration. So you are directing. I know most of the content that you have on your own app is coming from you. You are directing all most of your content. Now, when you wanted to make this content, I know you wanted to do something where you could be able to give a lot of content out there, but did you actually say, I am going to be the one who's going to direct it? Was that your initial plan, or was that just something that happened when you started it? And then once you started directing all of it, I know you've got the tea time, you've got dash diabetes, because I know you suffer from diabetes, and there's so many different things that you've personalized. What's going on around you, what's going on in your life, what's happened before you. Was this all part of the plan? Like, how did everything come about to where it is at the current moment with Dame Dash Studios?
I mean, in my experience of giving people my money and for them to direct stuff, I don't end up happy. I don't end up getting my money back. So if I'm gonna fuck money up, I want to be the one that was being creative doing it. But I
Okay.
am looking, after I develop a certain system. Like I shoot like 10 pages a day, and I have a certain look. And if I can identify other directors that can do that, once I'm in a safe place that I can take a loss just in case somebody bugs out, then I would do that kind of thing. But I'm gonna get to that eventually. But to
Okay.
me, I had to figure out how to make history without being triggered. So the first chapter in my life as it related to business, I was outside every day. I was dealing with people I didn't want to deal with. I was mad every single day, arguing with tacky people. And I just got sick. I mean, I really got sick of it. Like, I just didn't want to deal with nobody that I didn't want to deal with. You know what I mean? And I was like, I got to figure out how to get money without having to deal with these morons. And it took more time to make the volume of money I want to make and a lot of investment. But I had to go through that. I had to live the culture of art. I got to do gallery openings. It's all over my walls. And
Yeah.
now I really am confident that I'm not ever going to be exploiting art, that I am art. I had to become art. I was sick of making money off of it. I wanted to be art and make money off of it. And now I'm completely confident. I got a rock band. I direct movies. I design clothes. I'm more of an artist now. That's why I say, I mean, like, I'm the person that'll give you a clinic in how to be an artist and a businessman, not just a businessman. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's more like Earn Your Leisure. They teach you business. You know what I mean? But my
Mm.
business is like more like, yo, I teach you more how to monetize your love. And big shout out to Earn Your Leisure because they're doing a great job. I'm not knocking them at all. But I think it's like and I think we need to know those businesses. But I'm not the guy, like when the artist comes to me and says, yo, I want to make music with you, I'll be like, bro, if you're expecting the old Dame Dash that's gonna go out there and break tables and all that other shit to get music played, that's not what you're gonna get. You're gonna get someone that's gonna make records and say, yo, if it sells, it sells. That's how I look at it. Because I'm not making it for that no more. You know, I make my money doing the business, but my business is usually just being artistic. You know what I mean? So to me, shit, Rocky made 2 books this year, a television show, and a documentary. We should eat off that. You know what I mean? But I'm an
Mm.
artist. She lets me go make my movies. She lets me have my studio in Burbank where I can make music. and do all these ideas and all that. And she lets me spend my bread on that. The bread goes all into that. You know what I mean? And I'm in a really
Yeah.
lucky place that I could just be me. You know, I would love to make so much money that I could look at it. But usually when I make money, I just spend it on things that are inspiring me. And I dream all day. So I'm constantly inspired. Like it never stops. I drive everybody crazy because I want all my ideas, not for money to be a reality, just to get them out for therapy. I don't like to internalize my ideas. I like everything I'm thinking to become something tangible.
One of the main things that I'm picking up from this entire conversation is that you have literally moved on. What has happened in the past has happened. You are where you are right now. You're content and you want to move on.
I'm beyond
How did
content.
you
I'm
manage to
happy
get
as
to this
hell.
place?
Huh?
Because you've been through a lot. And how did you manage to now sit and say, you know what? I'm good. I don't need any of that. I
I
need
haven't
to
been
move
through a lot.
forward.
That's what people say that shit. I be like I got like rich people problems. These problems that I have or have had are problems that people would die to have. I remember when I was not in this position, like thinking about the problems that I could have. You know, like, if I had that problem, I'd be great. I mean, my issue is that I just like starting new businesses. That's not an issue to me. And that the people I always walk away from are just salty donuts because they don't have the strength or the courage to go and do what makes them happy. And they just be tight because I'm having fun. So every time I, get disinterested in a business or that shit ain't what I've been through that's been painful is the same thing everyone else has been through. Death. I lost my girl. I lost my moms. You know what I mean? But people go through that. That's what happens in life. Everybody dies at some point. We're all gonna feel that pain. So just because I'm, a person that's in the public eye, that don't mean my life is harder. It just means everybody sees normal shit. Like what I've been through that's been so painful, other than Aaliyah's
So
death.
that affected you a lot, or that's just
Of
like you
course that's
said,
affected me a
it
lot.
happens to everybody else.
That taught me how to love and how to recognize love. Because I didn't think I was ever going to feel that feeling again. And I really didn't, and I was all right with it. I'll go through life, at least I felt it. And with that person, I was like, shit, it was Aaliyah. So if I can go out like that, I'm good. But then I met another woman that gave me the same feeling. But the only thing that was better about it was that she's able to be with me every day, all day. Aaliyah was ghost. She was always gone because she had a career. So that's why moving forward, what I learned was the next time I fall in love, if I ever fall in love again, we're going to work together. So when you got to move around, we move around together. And that's what life with Rocky's been like for literally the last 13 years, 12, 13 years. It's like, it seems like yesterday.
Oh wow. Okay. That's
Like
relatable.
this,
That's
this,
very
this place
understandable.
of being happy is not new. The only thing that's new about it is that we finally got that baby. We got a baby now. So now it's complete.
Okay.
So that's the glow you see and the relaxation. But before that, we were just, I'm amazed at how much fun I've been having for so long. I didn't even think, like when you hear you live happily ever after, I'm in happily ever after right now. I'm in it. This is my happily ever after. It didn't just start. I retired from the music business in 2005. It's 2022.
One.
I've been
Okay.
retired for how many years?
A lot.
That's 15, 16, 17 years I've been in happily ever after. Just opening up art galleries, finding love, making babies, walking dogs and puppies, running around the world, you know? It's 15 years later.
That is so true. And when you mention that, it goes back now to the point at hand where you're one of literally the biggest brands in the world because of the impact you've had in different stages of your entire life. And it talks about your impact, the impact that you've had at that time and the one that you're having now, how have you, what has made you so impactful continuously that people still wanna, have a chat with Dame Dash?
It's because I'm always currently doing something cool. I'm not always talking about the past. Like I did something cool today. I'm always every day something cool is going on, something new. So think about the scorecard. It's never been like a year that I didn't give you something. I just do it on my own. You
Yeah.
feel me? So if I'm gonna give you a movie, I'm gonna give you a television network, I'm gonna give you a book. I might catch a highlight flick on YouTube. I'm gonna give you an art gallery. I'm gonna give you a black. I mean, I even made the Black Keys was performing on the Jake Paul shit. I'm like, now they older. It's funny seeing them older because I'm like, damn, I actually broke the biggest rock act as well with the Black Keys. And the fact now that I'm a band, my new life, I'm like, I think I could get at them with my band. It's a new life. Like to be able to have brand new shit happening.
Okay, that helped.
Well, I like weed.
Okay. No, I mean it's okay. We have what we need to do to make us okay, and that makes you okay.
I mean, I believe I've done my job. I've passed the plug, the information. I've left the blueprint for the culture that no one else would leave. And I even got at the people that were blocking us for everybody. Whether that's recognized or not is trivial to me, as long as it was done. I've done my job, and I'm going to keep doing it. And I love where we are evolving as a culture. Not everybody's perfect, but our heightened awareness and the fact that we're making sure that people are accountable, whether it's visually will embarrass you or like, when that big white sergeant yelled at the little black dude in the neighborhood and they all pulled up that was black unity without violence. And I love that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, we just not
Yeah.
having it no more. But you got to remember, I was around 30 years ago, and people was having it. People was looking the other way. What's appalling to us now was regular to us. We were accepting that back then. We are not having it anymore. And I know I had something to do with that. I know it started here. And I got the
Wow.
receipts. Just
Oh no,
look at
you
the
got them.
Breakfast Club interview. Look at every interview I ever did. Every single year for the last 17 to 20 years. And you tell me if I'm different, other than the fact that I'm more evolved and I have way more appreciation for women. Way more.
No, I've definitely picked up a lot. There are a lot of conversations that you've had with so many different people where you spoke about so many different things, and where you are right now and where you were and where you're gonna go is something that we're all definitely looking forward to. Like I said as well, I've been saying a few times throughout this entire interview is that I literally brought you here because I wanted to speak to you and find out how I can pick your brain to inspire the African entrepreneur, because what you're doing or what you've done and what you're gonna do is amazing. And a lot of people say, no, you can't bring that over here because circumstances are different. I'm like, listen, a dream is a dream. A view is a view. If I have a perception or something that I think that can work, it doesn't matter where you are. As long as you have that, like you said, that dream and you love what you're doing, you can do anything. And that's literally why you're here. You've
Yeah.
managed to actually show all of us that it's very possible.
Well, I went to Ghana a couple of years ago.
Oh,
And
yeah?
yeah, and I kicked it. I went a lot of different places, kicked it the White Sands and all that. And what I realized about Africa is it's the most resourceful, wealthiest continent on the planet. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's crazy how the perception to the rest of the world is number one, like Africa's a country. It's not. It's a continent. And that it's broke. And it's not.
We're not.
And when I went over there, it was like literally the way things were running, just like I feel like people have just been tricked over there into thinking they're not the illest continent in the planet. You
Yeah.
know, like to get mango juice, African mango juice in Africa, they got to literally send the mangoes, at least when I was there, to Ireland and send them back. And you have to buy them from it just made no sense to me, the
Yeah.
complications. And there was also a lot of other countries in there getting money. You know what I mean? Like China. I just thought culturally, the music, the fashion, the the history, like the chiefs, the kings, all like people that were living in a certain
Traditional
kind of
wear.
a modern world to go back to their tribe, to the king, like I would go from a hotel to drive up the block and be into a whole nother situation. Being able to see what, because they always show like Africa during the day, and they always show kids not looking so healthy. But you go to a healthy
Mm,
tribe, which most of them are at night, and they are partying all night, and you never see that. It's like, to me, Africa is the most hidden gem of all time, and it makes sense why why the oppressor would do that. But at this point, because a lot of it isn't physical, it's mental. We just got to be mad at ourselves for letting the oppressor oppress us with some mental shit. It's just us knowing who we
mm.
are. And once Africa and everybody else knows what Africa is, it's going to be all eyes on Africa all day, every day. I was seeing a lot of little culture vultures running around Africa like last year. And I was like, something's popping over there. You know what I mean? So I know there's
Which
mad
culture
hidden
vultures?
gems. Huh?
Which culture vultures?
I don't like to make them too famous. They know who they are. But I
Okay.
seen
No,
some.
because
I seen
when
them
I
over
start
there. I was like,
asking,
oh, huh?
no, it's just that when you mention culture vultures, there's so many things I can ask, and that can take us to a completely different place. But you know what? Today is it's a good day, and I want us to talk about enlightening things.
Yeah, enlightening
So
thing.
definitely. I want you to enlighten me. I know you've been through a lot, and there are a lot of people who have done things to you that you're not very happy about, but you've managed to use those things to your advantage and managed to inspire so many other people uh, right now and obviously in the future. So, if someone was to come to you right now and say, listen, Dame Dash, I'm trying to do something with my life. I'm not too sure if it's the right thing. I do like what I'm doing, but I'm not sure. To an inspiring entrepreneur anywhere in the world, not just Africa, I'm talking Asia, America, Europe, and they just want something to be able to, boost up the morale because obviously you've been through a lot and you've done so much. What would you tell them?
I would tell them, choose something that you love that's worth fighting for, because you're gonna have to fight. And understanding to be the champion comes with pain. It comes with the most training. Who's the most prepared? It's not even about always the most talent. It's mostly about the most discipline. So, again, do you want to have a hobby, or do you really want to be a professional? And do you want to go against people like me? Because I'm your competition. And that's fine.
Okay.
You should want to go against people like me, but do know that I'm working every single day, at least 23 hours of them. When I'm not moving, somebody's moving for me at my dream. So you have to work at least as hard as that. And being a boss doesn't mean an easy life. It actually means making difficult things easier for other people. And it also means fighting for other people before yourself. And also, I would ask them what their dream is, the selfish one. And most people don't even know what their dream is, which is sad. We've been taught not to dream. But once you
Mm,
do recognize your dream, fight for that. And it shouldn't be a question. If you're not sure, then it's not your dream. And if you're scared, then you're not ready. No fear. To me, fear is an artificial emotion that's been implemented into us to stop us from making our dreams come true. It doesn't mean don't be aware and don't be conscious. It doesn't mean walk into a street while the traffic is coming. It just means don't be scared to cross the street because you know how to. Don't do nothing stupid and you'll be all right. But it doesn't mean be scared, you know? So you can't have no fear. And you have to be confident. Like if you walk into a ring, a fight, thinking there's a chance you might lose, you already lost. You got to know you're going to win. Oh, the baby just got up.
When I got the confirmation that I was going to be able to speak to you, I was so worried. I was like, am I going to be able to speak to one of the biggest brands or the biggest entrepreneurs in the world? But then I reminded myself that I'm literally a vessel to be able to get you to inspire somebody else over here who'd never get the opportunity to understand ways that you're coming from. And I managed to face my fear. And I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're welcome. Anytime.
Okay. So one of the things, my last question, just to round off everything, with your platform where people can download your app, and there's so many, there's movies, there's series, there's
also remember
so many
the
things
innovation.
going on.
Real quick, the innovation in my platform is while you're watching things, you could buy it. So let's say this conversation, and I got on a Fetch God shirt. You know, you press a button, and without disengaging, you could buy it. So you should go on Dame Dash Studios and check it out so you can see all the cool shit that it does that other apps don't, that other streaming services don't. See, look, see, there's the dog, and then look, that's my inspiration.
Oh, how many dogs do you have?
You see this dog? Astro. This one doesn't listen at all. You see him? See how his ear is? You see his ear? Purple one? He purple. He's in the look now, they on my head. He's in the book.
Oh
wow. That's baby Dusko when he gets a little older. So everything I do, it revolves around my life. And that's what makes it real. Because you're buying a piece of what I'm doing, and you know, you can't have governor, but you get a shirt. And I know what he represents to me is just pure happiness. And look at my little man. Look, here's my girl. But look, you see his little sneakers? I mean, his socks.
Hi, Rocky.
In Africa.
How are you? How is he?
He's great. Look, let me see his DD. You see his outfit?
Hi, honey. Oh my God, he looks so beautiful. Hey. Oh wow. Oh, he's so beautiful.
See the socks?
Yes.
He got his own clothing line too, baby Dusko.
Oh wow. You know what? That's
amazing. See our magazine?
Yes.
Got a lot of shit going on. Just creative. All day, every day.
What if somebody wants to give you content for your app? Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. You know, possible.
How do they go about it? Are you willing to get content right now, or you working?
It depends on what they bring to the, how they want to get paid. Like I could share my platform if it's good, and you know, there's certain things, but I'd have to come across it. You know, like, yeah, I remember we doing so much of our own shit. We ain't really looking for nothing, but if it comes our way, you know, if we're inspired, then we figure out a way to make it happen. You know what I mean? So like,
what if you're getting content from Africa?
You see how they working right now? You see them? Look, see she working? What you doing? Why you acting like
Hello.
Hi. She's being silly. You see how she's working? Sing to him right now.
Hey.
So they work with me, but let's say today, Friday, at what time? What time is your show? 8:30. They do what's called the Cozy Corner, and that's where the people that work with me get to make their own dreams come true. and they go in there, do their album. She got a cheeky little movie she already made, this one right here, you know. But look, she's working on my dreams right now. So, of course, if she helped me with my dreams, I'm going to help her with hers.
Okay, okay. Are you ever maybe looking into African content?
Oh, definitely.
Okay,
Definitely. Definitely.
okay. Well,
I'm looking for
if
I'm
you're
looking
up,
for everything fly and everything cool. You know what I mean? Like
okay,
it's not
so you're
it's
cool,
not
dude.
about
Yeah.
money. It's just it got to be fly and it got to be cool. Like that's what I run around the world looking for. Cool shit. That's one of the shows we got. We went to. We went to China. We went to Thailand. We went to Jamaica. Just looking for like-minded people.
Okay. No, I like that, and I think that's an amazing thing. Thank you so much for joining me. You have given myself and everybody watching an opportunity to understand you, a bit of you, your surroundings, your family, who you are, what you represent, who you want to be. And I thank you very much for being open with me. I mean, I know there's so much that we could discuss, but like I said, I wanted this to be a very enlightening moment for everybody who gets to watch this in the future because I'm going to save this live. And I thank you very much for that. It's been a very interesting and amazing conversation with you. Um, I know you've got a lot going on for you right now, wherever you are, but thank you. I really, really appreciate this.
Yeah, and if you want to go look, thank you, and I appreciate that. And if you want to look at 24-hour TV right now, you go to Dame Dash Studios IG. Go to the live, and you'll see 24 hours of what the television network looks like. Just go right over to Dame Dash
Okay.
Studios right now. Just go on it right. Is it on? Yo, is it running today? Dame Dash Studios? Yeah, it should be. But you can see that with
Is it on?
commercial.
Okay,
On
cool.
Dame Dash Studios, it might be. Yeah, it's up. Now sometimes it be down. It's up right now. It's up. Go check it out. Go your IG and look. You'll be seeing TV commercials. A little sample. Little. Oh, but not. It is live right now. Yeah, it is. Check it out. Go check it out. Just go right
Okay.
over to that
Thank you.
studios. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have yourself a good
Later.
day.
You too.
Bye.
Hey, you want to know what I want to know? Like, hey, you want to know what I want to
Yes.
know? Oh no, I
Uh-huh.
was talking to them. Now I'll say I'll see you later.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. Bye. Okay, so that was amazing. A lot, so much happened so quickly. But thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. Thank you so much to everybody who waited for me. And it was a bit of a delay, but I appreciate every single one of you. So many gems were dropped. Listen carefully, okay? Listen carefully. There were so many things that were dropped. A great opportunity for you to be able to dig deeper into yourself and try and figure out what it is that you actually want to achieve. What do you want to do with yourself? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What are you doing right now? Is what you're doing right now going to benefit you then? Or is this something you're just doing now for the sake of it? Think about it. When you look at somebody like Damon Dash, you understand that everything is calculated. He said it for himself. Every move that I made was calculated. I knew what I wanted to do, and I literally got to where I was because I knew what I was doing. So please, yeah, thank you so much. I'm out of words. I will save this live as always. I will save it as at Lady K speaks to Damon Dash. It'll be on the ZFM Stereo IGTV page. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have yourself a fantastic weekend. Please do make sure you take care. I am going to go sleep now. I'm so tired. But I had a good night. But thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. We are Excited that you guys are always with us. I am very excited as per usual. But till Monday, I'll be speaking to other great artists. I'll be speaking to other great personalities, as I always do, right here on the ZFM Direct Access. My name is Lady K. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourself a very good weekend. Or good night for now. Till next time. Good night. And God bless. Bye.